Hello my friends, welcome to my channel where I make Affinity fun and easy to learn. In this video, I'll be showing you 7 hidden features inside of the Affinity application, right? I bet you never knew some of these features before. Without having to say much, if you've not subscribed to my channel, now is the best time to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss good videos like this that I'll be dropping anytime from now. Let's get started. So, I'm currently inside of my software like this, and of course I'm going to start with the isolation mode too. I'm going to use this to illustrate. So this is the first, as you can see, I have artboards here. I have 1 2 3 4 artboards, right? And you can see them in the layers panel that I have 4 artboard. Now for example, if I want to, let's say I want to work on this artboard, that is artboard number 2, I can easily come here and I just want to see only artboard number 2. I can come here, hold down the Alt key and select artboard number 2, and voila, you're going to see everything that concerns only the artboard 2. So you can see that everything inside of the artboard 1 and artboard 3 is hidden. So when you make your edits, you can change anything you want. You can change the colors, maybe move somewhere here like this and change the color. Whatever you want to do, let me just control this. Now when you're done with what you're doing, you can easily click out, and of course every other artboard is going to pop up like that, right? Easy peasy, very fast, right? Let's say you want to work on this on artboard number 3. I'm just going to hold down the Alt key and I'm just going to click on artboard number 3. Very easy. So the next thing I'll be talking about here is sampling colors. Now, for some of you, this has been a nightmare, right? I get questions asking, how do I sample colors? The eyedropper tool is not working, right? Now, first and foremost, the first thing you need to do here is, if you check here, you can see you have the color picker. Now, before you select the color picker, select your destination. That is where you want to apply the color to, right? So you can then go on and select the color picker, which is the color sampler. Select it like this and go over to, now you can be seeing mine, this is because by default it's set to magnification, but you can change that here when you uncheck this. So by this you can use this cursor, this plus cursor, to select any color, but I love using the magnification because it gives me precise details of what I want to use. So for this shape, I'm just going to give you this color, select this one, go back to the color picker, and I'm going to select a color from this part too. You can see automatically you're seeing the details of the color you're selecting. You can see the red 212, the green 0, and of course the blue is 241. So when you keep navigating across colors like this, you can see that it changes. Great. So the next thing is, of course, over here when you're inside of the color, most times the mistake you make is when you select this, you want to use this here, you just click, and of course it's going to, what this has done, let me Ctrl Z this, it's going to give it the default color that is inside of your color picker. So what the color picker does is it retains color history, right? So if I select the color picker, for instance, and I select this color here, it's going to retain the history of this color here. So whenever you click any shape like this and you come and press this, it's going to give you that color, right? So the better way to use this is, probably you want to change the color of this guy here. I want to sample a color from any of these pictures here. What you should do is click on this color picker and drag out like this. You can see. So you can navigate to anywhere you want. It's probably here like this, and drop here. You can see it has applied the color, right? So it doesn't stop there. You can also apply a color from the interface. Now what I mean is from the interface here. So simply just drag like this, color picker, and come out here, and of course you can see it has changed. Now it gets better. What you can do is, it doesn't only sample color from inside. I love this tool very well. So take for instance, you minimize this, right? It can sample colors from anywhere you are. Now this is free pick. We all know free pick, right? So let me drag this up, and maybe I want to sample the color from this particular image now, right? I want to sample it to this part here. So what you need to do is You can minimize this, but I'm just going to leave mine like this. Click on this color picker and come out here. You can see it's outside. So I can sample this blue, and automatically what you notice is it has applied the color. So it doesn't only sample color within the interface of the Affinity Studio, it samples color also outside. So this is what to keep in mind actually when you're doing your brand identity design and all of that. So you don't need to have the image inside before you sample colors. Okay, so the next thing we want to talk about here is actually copying color code. Now, for instance, let me switch back to my first artboard here like this, right? So let's say I want to get the color code of this particular color here. I can easily come here and copy. Another thing I can actually do is also come here, and what I can do is select this option and say copy color to clipboard as X, right? So it's copied already, so you can go anywhere. Maybe this is mine. Let me open this file and I can paste it here like this. So this is my color that I copied, and if you look at it, the same color that you have here, right? So away with that, the next thing I want to talk about here is the noise texture, right? Now, if you followed me through my previous videos, you see that I've used these features, this particular feature, so many times, right? So how this works is, if you want to apply texture, now by default, if you are using something like this, if you have a color like this and you want to apply noise, right, you might not naturally see anything here like other softwares where you have to go to effects, add noise, all of this. You might not see that. The simplest way to do this is hidden behind the opacity. So if you click on this, you can see switch to noise. Immediately it has switched to noise. Now when I turn this up like this, you can see what happens. I've just added noise to this. And of course, you can actually turn this off by bringing this down. Just click on opacity and you're going to activate the noise. Easy peasy. Okay, great. So another thing I want to talk about is another hidden feature is the symbols. Now, for instance, I have this image now, right? I'm just going to make this smaller like this. So to activate that, what you need to do is go over to Windows, and inside of Windows, go over to vectors. Under vector, select symbols if you can't find it here. So click on it. You can dock this here or you can choose to leave it. I'm just going to add mine to this here, symbols like this. Now selecting this image, you can click on this create here. Now when you click on create, automatically it has added this image to the symbols directory. Let me bring this out so I can say this well. Now this has now become a symbol, right? So I can have this deleted maybe in another document and all of that. When I want to use this, I'm just going to drag this out like this and have this here, right? You can have several symbols like this. Now this comes in handy when you are creating maybe like a backdrop, right? Have this here also. Just going to have them arranged. Now the good thing about symbols is this. You can see that as I'm moving everything, I'm moving everything in place, right? Now you can easily just come here, and once you change the color for one, it applies to all of them. So you can drag all of these symbols to where you want them, and of course just apply colors to them. For instance, if I delete all of them, let me delete everything. I'm going to delete everything like this. Click on delete, and I drag this. I'm just going to put it in strategic places. Strategic places, right? So I can then easily, so I have 3 symbols, select all of them, and I can just come here and change the color. And of course, if I go on with this, I can create and create and create and create, and I can use this as even a watermark for your designs. So it's something to come in handy. Even if you close this, you're going to come back here and you're still going to see this particular symbol. So It is something that when you are designing your brochures and your magazines and everything, you have most times your symbols here that you don't want to go outside of the interface trying to bring them inside. Now, another feature I'll be talking about is the embedded fonts, right? For example, now I just designed this adbots and I need to maybe use them on my PC or my iPad, right? Now I'll be needing the font. Now, how you can actually preserve this font and get to use the font without having to save them and export them while you are on your desktop or anything is by going to File and saving this as package, right? So you can see now included is the font, right? So you can see all of the font that I used inside of this particular design is inside here. So when I click OK, it's going to save everything. And of course, you can also have images too. You can see everything saved and it makes work easy for you, right? Great. So instead of using, next time you want to use the save command, and of course, you want to embed your fonts. So come over here and use the save as package. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the quick grid. Now, for instance, when you are using your shape, I'm going to use an ellipse, for example. Now, so when I'm drawing an ellipse like this, right? Of course, I have my color. If I click on the arrow key, you can see that it has added another ellipse. If I click on it again, it has added another one. If I click, it has added. So this is a quick way to actually form grids and repeated shapes. Now, if I click this downwards, you can see it has added the ellipse downwards. I can still move this. Mind you, I'm still moving this like this. If I click on it, it's still going to have. Now, the good thing about it is I can actually modify this. Now, I'm still holding it. I've not left this alone, right? So when you click and hold the right arrow key, it gives space like this horizontally. When you click on and hold the down arrow key, it gives space vertically. So this is something to keep in mind when you are drawing shapes. Maybe you have something, for example, like I love this particular effect, so I can go on and on and on. And at the end of the day, I hold down shift just to have the circle perfect. And of course, at the end of the day, this is what you've gotten out of this, right? So this comes in handy when you are doing your designs and maybe you need to fit in some images in some shapes and you need to draw those shapes very fast. So this quick grid actually works for you that way. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is the mirror document. So now by default, you don't have this documented anywhere inside of Affinity, right? So, but one thing you don't know is when you hold down the Ctrl Shift and the Alt key and you click on the arrow key, maybe I'm clicking on the right arrow key, you can see what happened. It has flipped this. Now, if I click back, it has brought it back. Now, if I click on the left arrow key, you can see it has mirrored it to the other side. So if I click back, you can see it has mirrored it back again. Now, if I want to change the orientation of this document, this is a landscape. I'm just going to hold down Ctrl Shift Alt and click on the up key, up arrow key. You can see it has changed the orientation to, you guessed right, portrait. If I click again, you can see it has changed it back. I can keep clicking on this until I get my desired rotation. And of course, I can bring this back to where it used to be before. So this is just a quick way to actually mirror your document and rotate this whichever ways you want. So Affinity is so flexible. Wow. Now, as a bonus tip, one of the things I want to talk about here is the line tool. Now, if you're coming from where you used to use Illustrator and and of course, if you're a CorelDraw user, right? By default, you have a line tool in all of those documents. Now, it works differently here. That is not to say you don't have the line. In fact, you have a better line tool inside here. Now it is hidden behind the pen tool. Now when you select the pen tool like this, let me remove the color and leave the outline, and let me zoom closer like this. Now over here, by default, it is always set to pen mode, right? Now what you need to do to activate the line tool is click on what? Line mode. So you can actually click like this, click on the endpoints and click to have horizontal lines, and of course vertical lines, which can always come in handy when you are creating tables, and of course anything that you might want to do that includes using lines, right? So you can see, you can you just click on and you draw perfect lines. Now let me delete everything now. So click on everything and delete this. Now still on the line tool, right? Now if you want to continue the lines, you can actually use the polygon mode. Now you can click and you can see that I'm actually continuing the line, right? And of course, I love how this is intuitive. If these lines are not perfect, I can easily use my node to select all of this, come up here and align this well to the top, and select the bottom nodes also, and also align them to where? To the bottom like this. And of course, I can click like this and also center them like this. So click on this, and of course, imagine what you can do with this. And I can click on this and space horizontally. You can see they have equal spaces. If I highlight all of this, I can click on convert to sharp, not curve instead. Click on this one too, and I can do something like this vertically and like this, and boom, you have your perfect lines. Basically, you can use this to do whatever you want to do, right? Great. So this brings me to the end of my video. If you like this video and you've gained something valuable from this video, make sure you don't click out, share this video, and also like this video. If you've not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.